Hey folks, they're selling 50-50 tickets. My little sister, Lori Hootie, and she can't sit down until she sells all those tickets, so please help her out. And she got sore feet. And also, how about a big hand for our famous, world-famous photographer, Mr. Les Kapuscinski, the greatest in the business. What a fantastic job he does. Make sure you smile and wear clean gotchas so when he takes your picture, you look good. Thank you, Les, for all you do. I have my gold trumpet.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Tommy Altenberg, 2012 Hall of Fame inductee on the concertina, along with his nephew Kevin. Here's what we call the concertina polka. Take it away, guys. For Tommy Altenberg on the concertina 2012 Hall of Fame inductee. Thank you, Tommy. It's great to see you. Great to see you up here in the bandstand.
All right, our next Hall of Famer coming right up. You know him well. Oh, there he is. Sometimes known as BB. I don't know what the B stands for, but 2004, this gentleman was elected and inducted into the IPA Hall of Fame. I like to call him the polka curmudgeon. How about a great big hand for the one and only Billy Bolina? he's ready. He was drinking some nice hot herbata, so he's all ready to go.
Here we go.
Oh, should I announce now too? All right. How's that, Mike? Good. Tune came off our Salute to the Stars Bay State 4 album. Kiss Me Polka Naturals number from Chicago.
Everybody give him a nice round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Nice job.
Thank you, William.
Yes.
Ask him, I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, look at Billy with that Five Brooks Brothers suit jacket on. Came out. Looks like he's getting married or something.
There we go. Now it's on.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Our next vocalist was inducted this very morning.
Right.
Not only is she a great singer, she's a wonderful person, and we're glad to have her here. How about and I found out something I did not know this morning. Her name is Diane. So how about a big hand for Diane Didi O'Grady?
She's just singing. No, she's a little congested. We're going to feature Didi on a song called The Picking Cherries polka, one of her signature numbers here. Maybe after this we'll get Ryan up here to plug in his fiddle and play one with her too, so.
All right, I was looking for them cherries. I finally found it.
That's from the bottom upstairs.
Everybody, give her a nice round of applause. Holy cow. No one sings that song like her, I swear to God.
Look, we've got the mayor of Cranberry Township right here, Chris Poggin. How about a hear from the mayor?
All right, we're going to feature Dee Dee on another song here. Here's one called I Give You Music. All right, we're going to do one called I Give You Music. We're going to have Laura sing some harmony with Dee Dee and have Ryan sing some third part. Hopefully this goes well. And if it doesn't, don't put it on Facebook.
Come on, get front and center. You're the best looking guy up here.
Check.
You should be in GQ magazine.
No, that's you, Sam.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for newly inducted Hall of Fame member Didi Ogrodny, everybody. Give it up for her. Thank you, Didi.
And Ryan, I got to sing 3-part harmony with these two. Are you kidding me right now? Made my weekend. Thanks, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next Hall of Famer, once again inducted into the Polka Music Hall of Fame. We're going to bring him up to the bandstand and do a couple of numbers with us. How about a nice round of applause for David Nigel Cooldraw, everybody. Let's hear it for Nigel. And of course, he enters the bandstand from the rhythm section side. You got to love that. We're going to feature Nigel on a vocal here, and then he's going to play one along with us, a couple songs that he wanted to do. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, here's one called the Daddy's Polka.
Go
Everybody on the vocal on the Daddy's Polka here tonight for you. I want to ask about Nigel what he wanted to do. He wanted to sing one and he wanted to do an old Versatones number, so we're going to feature him on the bass on one called the Playboy Polka. So here we go, one called the Playboy Polka.
Want to use my phone?
making a fun of us. It's a marvelous funny. Well, I'm special one year, but I'm not from your gotcha. It's just getting nothing to it. But it's so good. Da donna come a tu donna alle cuccie una troppo e non la conosco e benissimo che capisco a tutti i giorni e mi devo fare ai altri
Nigel, everybody, give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Nigel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next Hall of Famer we'd like to bring up for you right now is also inducted this morning, and he hails from the state of Connecticut. How about a nice round of applause for Peter J. Danielczyk, everybody, inducted into the Hall of Fame this morning. Peter's going to do one of his numbers for you.
What does the J stand for? My buddy Peter. Big hand for Peter, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Rick.
What a guy. And how about Grażyna? Where's she at? Someplace. She's someplace. You know, Peter's like the sheriff for this one, so if you get a parking ticket in his area, he can fix it for you.
One drink for...
Right on here, yeah.
Everywhere, has moved over there, and Robert
goes over there, it's still right here. There's hiding everywhere. There's all behind the scenes. One time I'll have no pieces of your side. Who's not ready to hide? There's all behind the scenes. Not the beauty of the wine. Who's not ready to hide? There's all behind the scenes. Oh yeah. The IPA tribute band. Yeah.
Peter J. Danyapsik, everybody give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Peter. Congratulations. So how y'all doing out there? Everybody having a good time so far this evening? All right. We're going to send this out for all our Canadian friends, eh? All right, the next Hall of Famer we're going to bring up to the bandstand. You heard him here perform with the Newgrass Express yesterday evening. Elected into the Hall of Fame in 2005. How about a nice round of applause for my buddy Eddie Shiviach from the
Hello?
And he's going to show one called Everyone Loves Someone, so here we go. everybody. Give them a nice round of applause. Thank you, Richard. Our next Hall of Famer, you hear him on the jammer all the time. We've been sitting back there all weekend.
They're saying right now, him and Ken? Yeah, enough of him last night.
Elected into the Polka Hall of Fame in 2015. How about a nice round of applause for Mark Chepach, everybody?
Yeah, put it back on the stand unless you want to make it sound like a traffic jam.
All right, here's one called Like Hot Up Young Guy.
Do I need words? No, okay. Wait a minute. Where's the pink accordion?
He borrowed it to Barbie.
Yeah. I wanted the pink accordion.
People talk about anything to really boost their ratings.
Yeah. They ain't boosting your ratings.
Your ratings are entertainment.
You must be a racist.
Now play nice, boys.
I'll pipe down and play the horn. That night I won't forget. She said next to my playing the same how you do. With flowers to get ready, with eyes for blue. It's this cold rain, I got the doctor, sweetheart. When I'm gone, wonderful. I waited for it. And soon as I'll break my building, if something I will say, will be mine forevermore. They bring me up here for eye candy, not because I can sing anything. That's my story on singing anything.
We brought you up here because somebody said you were buying it. That ain't gonna happen.
Nice round of applause for Uncle Buck.
All right, this next Hall of Famer, you know him, you love him. He hails from the great state of Massachusetts, elected into the Polka Music Hall of Fame all the way back in 1995. How about a nice round of applause for Mitch B-Scoop, everybody? Let's hear it for him.
Yeah.
gentlemen, how about a nice big hand for this IPA tribute band? What a great dynamic group they are, excluding Ricky.
Boom!
A couple more lessons and they're going to be doing fine. A couple more lessons and they'll be fantastic. We'd like to send this out for all the Biscups here today. I have family here from Canada, from Kansas City, from all over the world. So the Biscups also from Michigan, and the two ladies from Mexico. We have Mexico here today. God bless you. I have fond memories of Mexico. I still use the pills to get me cured.
Did you eat the worm?
That doesn't work anymore? Okay. I broke the mic. Boys and girls and friends, what a pleasure it is. You know, these festivals are terrific. The music is wonderful. But more important, we get together with old friends. It's unbelievable, all the friends that I have met for years and years. Thank you so very much for seeing you again. You are truly a wonderful thing. And now, if I get over my nervousness, I hope I don't pee in my pants.
Too late.
Here we go with something I wrote many, many years ago as a kid in Montreal. A French song that we turned into a polka. This one called the Strawberries and Raspberries. We're going to have Laura sing with me up here. Hey, this is working again. Come on up here. Beautiful Laura. If I was 40 years younger, boy, oh boy.
If you were 40 years younger, you'd be 40 years younger.
Here we go, Strawberries and Raspberries.
girls and friends, thank you. God bless you. Another hand for all these guys with another lesson or two. They'll be fine. The IPA tribute band, especially for Kevin. I can't believe that Mr. Fingers plays that concertina. God bless you all. Thank you so very much.
Mitch Beach with everybody. Give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Mitch. All right, this next Hall of Famer, if you were at the banquet this morning, you saw him kind of officiating over things. He actually operates the Hall of Fame now for the IPA. Hails from Maryland, soon to be Florida, I think. And Mike was inducted into the Polka Music Hall of Fame in 2008. How about a nice round of applause? Mike Matuzak, everybody.
Hey, Mike! Oh, Mikey!
You would have me follow Mitch Bisco. How about?
Sorry, Mike. I owe you one.
That's not fair. You guys look beautiful out there. What a wonderful day.
You know, Mike, I gotta tell you, I look forward to seeing Mitch at the banquet every year with his maroon velvet jacket. You know, it looks like the inside of a coffin.
All right, here's one called In My Old Polish Town, a song I love to hear Mike sing. He wrote it, he recorded it with the boys. It's a great tune. Here we go.
Come on, Mike!
Back where I was born, every corner had a family on the floor. Where I went to Polish school, and my favorite food, the Polish doesn't make my number store. Got our Easter basket blessed, right after Polish class, learned to walk out of the local Polish home. All that pussy and a vodka from the day we never see. My old Polish town, no better things around. We're Polish time is fun, and Polish time was found. But it's heritage, it's still our heritage. It's that old Polish town, it's my old Polish town. Low houses where I'm home, some of brick and some of stone, and like to sit outside with all our friends. Still we statues in the park, we play with down the jar, lying with the lost music with them. I start to the local bars, in the ages in the jars, and Polish men were snippers on that shit. Growing up to study the world with Polish boys and Polish girls, what better way to spend your early years? My old Polish house, no better things around. When Polish pride is left, and Polish hearts are found, nothing heritage, you show us heritage. When that old Polish town, is my old Polish town, my old Polish town, I'm proud to stay around. We're Polish pride is left, and Polish hearts are found, nothing heritage, you show us heritage. That old Polish town, is my old Polish town. Thank you. Love you guys.
Mike Matuzak, everybody. Give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Mike. All right, this next Hall of Famer we'd like to bring up, you're going to get to hear him, of course, perform tomorrow with Dennis Polisky and all the Mike shows, man. And he was inducted into the Polka Music Hall of Fame in 2003. How about a nice round of applause for Jackie LaBeer, everybody? Let's hear it for him.
Someone who's going to cheerlead from their tambourine.
And Jackie's brought along his clarinet. I love to play next to this guy. This is like a real treat for me, so thank you, Jackie.
I lost my monocle. Maybe I hope you got words. Did you write this song?
Here's one called The Good Old Days. You guys recorded this with the classics, right, Jeff? All right, we got a couple more for you, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, inducted into the Polka Music Hall of Fame in 2014. How about a good Nice round of applause, originally from Minnesota, now residing in Ohio, Mr. Kevin Adams, everybody.
Kevin!
Hello, everybody. I got my cheese here. Okay, this was a recording on my Love Notes recording, which, by the way, was voted by the IPA as best recording in 2014, and I do appreciate that very much.
That was fake news.
Here we go, one called Sophia.
That's my buddy Kevin. For years and years, Kevin always plays a shoki trumpet. And I told him that's junk, I play pop. But just in honor of Kevin, I went out and bought a shoki trumpet so I could play this song with Kevin. And it reminds me of the time he almost fell down and killed himself and smashed his horn. Remember that, Tony? That was at the Versatile Conference.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another Polka Hall of Famer, and he happens to be right up here on the stage. How about a nice round of applause for our own Rick Rizzuto, elected into the Polka Hall of Fame in 2020. And if we can get Ryan Agrandi up here on the fiddle, I hear he's on his way. We're going to do one with Ryan. I don't know where he's at. Maybe we'll do one with Randy first, and then we'll get. Yeah, all right. We're going to bring Randy up here. How about a nice round of applause? Elected into the Polka Music Hall of Fame in 2015, Mr. Randy Kozlowski, everybody, and he wrote a song for the Polka family.
And I kind of woke up this morning and I've been thinking, oh shoot, I have no voice. I'm going to be in trouble. So I was going to tell Laura, can I just sign language this song? And then I said, wait a second, why don't we do it in sign language as a backup? So we have Haley Kravish here who's going to sign language this. And we figured, now this is going to be a thing. We might as well learn this. Let's do this, you know. This is something we can do. We are family.
You know, Randy, I know sign language.
I'm sure you do.
Only one sign.
I'm sure I know what it is. We travel the country, playing polka music, East Coast to West Coast and places in between. Our love of the music binds us together. All of us are part of one big polka family. We are family, polka family. The best friends getting together now and then. We are family, polka family. This is what a family sounds. Hey, what's the song for that party? You travel the country supporting polka music, East Coast to West Coast and places in between. Old friends meet new friends at every destination. No matter the time, we are family, polka family. We're the best of friends, getting together now and then. We are family, polka family. This is what a family sounds to me. We are family, polka family. We're the best of friends, getting together now and then. We are family, polka family. This is what a family's supposed to be. Oh yeah. Big welcome, Pastor Haley. We figured we needed something for the hearing impaired, which is everybody here, probably. Pretty soon all the polka vocalists are going to be sign language.
Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Randy Kozlowski, everybody. He's written so many great songs in polkas. That's just one of them.
Hey, Randy, I want to see you do that in Polish.
All right, then we got Ryan up here. We got one more quick one, and then we're going to turn things over to Kleinick and Friends. And thank you, Ed Kleinick, for being so kind, for allowing us to go over. We'll pay you back. All right, we're going to do a quick split the pie. Go ahead, John.
All right. Your winning ticket, the orange tickets. Oh, they haven't been claimed yet. Oh, they both have been claimed? Then why is this up here?
Let's still announce the numbers so everyone knows. Still just announce the numbers.
So just announce the numbers? Okay, thank you. All right, 210-040 was the winning orange ticket number. And 210-063 were the winning numbers. And they have been claimed already, ladies and gentlemen. But just for you know,
Record.
for transparency purposes, sometimes we gotta do that little bit of thing like that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, give it up for our very own Polka Hall of Famer in 2020, Rick Rizutko. Let's hear it for him.
And I do have hair.
And since we have Ryan here on the fiddle, Rick wanted to do one of his signature numbers that he usually starts on a harmonica, but I think Ryan's going to oblige us.
Oh, you wait and see. You can't pass up a chance to have Ryan play with us. Come on, big hand for Ryan. Joseph Pogodi, or his wife calls him Joseph Ryan. Leave me alone. We love you, Mike. The sexiest voice in polkas, Mike Matusak.
You mean Matusak, Mike?
Let's get those hands clapping. Come on, just like this. Come on, everyone. over to Atlantic and Friends right now. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.